Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. So this is actually the very first video that I've done after midnight. So even though I started recording videos on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2020, since it is after midnight, one could argue that it is already Thursday, October 1st, 2020. And the time is approximately 12:25 a.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, October 1st, 2020 is the date of the full moon in Aries. Fun fact, there are two full moons in October 2020. The first one is today, Thursday, October 1st, 2020, which is a full moon in Aries. And the next one, or the last one of the month, is on Saturday, October 31st, 2020, which is a blue moon, full moon in Taurus. My fellow witches, pagans, and magical practitioners call October 31st Samhain, but it is more commonly known as Halloween. So I wanted to do a general check-in. Hello, boss. I know you want to come up here. Let me get you. Let me get you. Come on. You want to come up here, right? You said you want to come up here. As some of you know, ever since Corey the Calico died, I am thoroughly convinced that Corey has been sending Boss to give Drake and me extra special, extra massive amounts of cuddles. Drake is the name of my awesome audiovisual person, although he has other titles in my life. Isn't that right, Boss? So I wanted to do a general check-in because it's been a while. Hi, you look so beautiful. Look at you, so cute. Oh, you're so gorgeous. You're so comfortable. Let me kiss you. Let me kiss you. Anyway. So as most of you know, September through to the following February is the most abundantly full time period for my professional psychic practice. And I have already overbooked myself twice professionally, once personally. And it is extremely frustrating because I do not like overbooking myself. So for the rest of the year, and certainly for January and February of 2021, I'm going to absolutely make sure that I do not overbook myself. I really wanted to just let you know what's been happening. I've been doing, now that there aren't as many lockdowns or pauses or shutdowns in place, I have been spending more time at home. I have a side position of employment where I can work from home. Although now the employees for that organization have been authorized to work in person. So I can literally leave my home to go work with the side position of employment. But I have been primarily remaining at home and doing working from home with that side position of employment. And right now, Notions and Potions, they officially reopened on Monday, June 1st. And I know that Catland Books, more commonly known as Catland, reopened their doors on Wednesday, July 1st, but they are still not having in-person readings at this time. In fact, they are open right now from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. All of the events are taking place online, and all of my readings, when I'm not at well, actually that's not true because I did my first phone reading at Notions and Potions last Saturday, September 26th. So I am continuing to offer virtual readings via Catland Books and via Notions and Potions, whether it is by phone, by video, or by email. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that I'm really looking forward to 2021 for several reasons. I will be very blunt with all of you and say that there are some things that I do not share on social media for a variety of reasons, and I include YouTube in that. But I am very comfortable sharing with all of you that 2019 was an incredibly challenging year for me. I would even say that there were certain portions of 2019, and specifically between February and June, where I felt like I was in hell. That's how challenging 2019 was for me. So COVID-19 notwithstanding, 2020 is a much better year for me. And if I was willing to go through all of the details, you'd be like, oh my God, Robert, you're so right. 2019 was craptacular for you. Yes, it was. It was craptacular. It was craptastic. It was a fucking fucked up shit show. For the most part. But specifically between February and June of 2019. Some of you know the details, so you know why. But 2020 has been a much better year for me. It has been a happier year for me. It has been a physically and emotionally healthier year for me. It has been a year of increased financial prosperity. It has been a year of new people coming into my life, new opportunities opening up for me. I can honestly say that with the exception of January had its good moments, but they were so few and far between, which is ironic because, you know, I'm so accustomed to my birthday month being happy and fulfilling and joyous. You know, I forgot what having a crappy birthday month felt like. But I will say that with each passing month from February onward, every month has been a better month for me. It has been more fulfilling, it's been more peaceful, it's been more insightful, and I really felt that, and the level of self-awareness has increased for me. You know, for a lot of different reasons, for a variety of reasons. I was surprised to discover that certain emotional wounds resurfaced, and they resurfaced in such a way that I felt that I needed to do something else. And I don't have a problem sharing with all of you, especially given how much more important mental health issues are in the world today, that back in August, I actually resumed, or rather I went back into therapy. And you know, I will tell you that I was nervous, and I remember that it wasn't just a promise that I made to other people; it was a promise that I made to myself. And in spite of maintaining this belief that being back in therapy was not going to help me, I needed to keep my promise to myself and really like have the therapy sessions. And when I say have the therapy sessions, I mean that, and I didn't realize this at the time, I needed to schedule an initial session, which was an intake. It was a very thorough intake. I was asked everything from, you know, if there were any mental health issues in my family, if there were any pivotal traumatic moments in my childhood and adolescence, if there was anything in my family history regarding secrets, regarding other things. It was an extremely thorough intake, and it was a 2-session intake because, you know, I started talking about certain things, and so I really enjoyed the person who did the intake. I felt extremely comfortable with her. I felt very relaxed with her. It's funny because, you know, I don't normally take into consideration somebody else's fashion sense in that kind of a setting. And yet, you know, every time I looked at her, I would think to myself, she's so moderna. Moderna is the Spanish word that literally translates as modern woman. And moderna, I think, is a compliment to a woman who's very forward fashion-wise. And it's certainly, I think of it as a compliment in Hispanic culture. You know, when I refer to a woman as moderna, I am telling her that I think she's very stylish, she's very fashion-forward, she's very elegant, she's very unique. And, you know, there was something very moderna about her boots, about her pants, about her shirts, even her eyeglasses I found very moderna. And I just felt comfortable with her. So, you know, I expect to have my first session with my official therapist in a few weeks. And I am looking forward to it. And interestingly enough, you know, I began to stress out over my body image. And specifically with the fact that I've gained some weight in the last few months. And after that first intake session, after the part 1 of the intake session, going into part 2 of the intake session, I no longer had this neurotic stuff and gunk about body image issues. You know, and I just kept reminding myself, you know what? I did not gain the weight overnight. I'm not going to lose it overnight. And it is interesting to note that since that very first session, I have been more mindful about when I eat, about how I eat, about what I eat. I've been more mindful about what I consume. You know, I love sweets. I love salty snacks. And, you know, when it comes to coffee and tea, if it's a black tea or coffee, I definitely add sugar. If it's tea, I add honey, like an herbal tea. I also add lemon juice, but that's another story. You know, and it's been very liberating actually, not to be so obsessed with losing weight. And you know, in my life, I've met plenty of people that are obsessed about losing weight, and it's just like they drive themselves crazy. And you know, and it rubbed off on me where I started driving myself crazy, and I'm like, I can't keep doing that, you know, because it was distracting me. It was upsetting me. It was really like doing a number on me, physically and emotionally, and mentally and spiritually. And the fact that even after the first of this two-part intake session is already bringing me progress was really um, beautiful. Actually, it was really empowering for me, and it gave me a great deal of peace of mind that I had not had in a very long time. Um, it's still very unusual to me because, again, you know, prior to this year, the last time that I'd been therapy, I was around 25 years of age. I'm currently 50. I'm going to be 51 in a few months. So it was just like, wow, this is a really big deal. You know, and I really feel that um, it was appropriate to share this with all of you. I feel that it's going to make a difference to some of you. Maybe not all of you, but to some of you. Some of you are really going to be moved and inspired by this. And I really felt that that was the reason why I needed to share this with all of you. And, you know, this is a general check-in. So this is not a very specific or topic-specific check-in. But I really, I will tell you that it made me happy to do this. It made me happy and it gave me a great deal of peace of mind. And it is, and I'm looking at this like this is another tool in my magical spiritual toolbox that's going to help me move forward. And it's going to help me be of, it's going to help me provide better service to the clients who come to me for intuitive card readings and for rune castings and for metaphysical consultations and for the other psychic and magical services I offer. So I'm really enjoying that this is going to help a lot of people, including me. Um, it made me happy. It really did. It really helped. And, you know, it makes me happy that I was finally proven wrong about something. I don't get proven wrong all the time, so it's nice to be proven wrong about something. It just breaks up the monotony. So I'm really happy to know that this therapy, this resuming of therapeutic treatment is helping after all. I think that's it. I could say more, but you know, it is after midnight and I want to do a few things before I go to bed. But YouTube, all of you in YouTube land, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. On this bright moon, full moon in Aries, I wish all of you many blessings and miracles and gifts of courage, empowerment, inner strength, and warrior fire. Good night, have a beautiful weekend, and stay tuned for the next video.